The hollow earth, the heat was the first thing that hit Dr. Alina Rostova. Physical weight that pressed against her lungs, smelling of ozone and ancient, rotting vegetation. Just moments ago, she had been standing in the air-conditioned staging tent of the Saragon coal mine in Colombia, overseeing the excavation of a newly discovered seismic anomaly. Now, she was lying on her back in thick, clinging mud, coughing up water. Sound off. A voice barked. It was Marcus Thorne, the head of security for the mining conglomerate. His voice was tight, laced with a panic he was trying to suppress.
"Here!"
Elena gasped, wiping slime from her safety goggles. "Liam? Where's Liam?" A few feet away, a young man scrambled backward, his flashlight beam cutting erratically through the mist. "I'm here. My God, where are we?" The cave floor. It just gave way. Elena stood up, her boots sinking into the muck. She shone her light around. They weren't in a cave. Not anymore. The walls of the coal mine were gone. Instead, they were standing on the edge of a colossal subterranean swamp, enclosed within a massive geological pocket that stretched miles wide, lit by bioluminescent fungi clinging to the ceiling, far above. But it was the flora that froze Elena's blood. "This is impossible," she whispered, touching a fern frond the size of a door. "These plants. These are tropical but the scale is wrong. Everything is too big." "Is it a sinkhole?" Liam asked, his voice trembling. "Did we fall into a lower level?" "We fell into the past," Elena said, her scientific curiosity warring with primal fear. "Look at the temperature gauge on your suit. It's 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The humidity is near 100%. This ecosystem has been sealed off, evolving in isolation, or preserved." "I don't care about the botany," Thorne snapped, checking his rifle. "We need a way back up. The comms are dead. GPS is static." We climbed to high ground. They began to trudge through the knee-deep water. The silence here was heavy, broken only by the dripping of condensation and the distant, unsettling splash of heavy objects moving in the water. Elena felt a prickle on the back of her neck. As a paleontologist, she knew what kind of environment required this level of heat. This was a greenhouse world, a world where cold-blooded creatures didn't have to stay small to regulate their body temperature. A world where reptiles could grow without limit. "Wait!" Thorne hissed, holding up a fist. The water ahead of them rippled. It wasn't a small ripple. It was a displacement wave, like a boat moving through the channel. A log, thick as a telephone pole, seemed to be drifting against the current. "It's just a tree," Liam said, though he raised his flare gun. Elena squinted. The bark of the log glistened with a wet, oily sheen. "Liam, don't shoot. Back away. Slowly." "Why?" "Because that's not a tree," Elena whispered, terror gripping her throat. The log stopped moving. Slowly, an enormous head rose from the murky depths, shedding a curtain of swamp water. It was boxy, muscular, and the size of a coffee table. Two dead, black eyes fixed on them. It was a snake, but not just any snake. It was the apex of evolution's most terrifying era. "Titonoboa," Alana breathed. "Run." Chapter 2. The kill zone. The water exploded. The creature didn't strike with the speed of a viper. It struck with the force of a freight train. The sheer displacement of water knocked Liam off his feet. Thorne opened fire, the muzzle flash of his rifle illuminating the cavernous gloom in strobe light bursts. Bullets sparked off the water and impacted the creature's thick scales, but it was like shooting a tank with a BB gun. "Move. To the ridge," Thorne screamed, grabbing Liam by the collar and dragging him through the muck. Elena scrambled up a bank of mosquoved roots, her heart hammering against her ribs like a trapped bird. The sound behind them was deafening a thrashing, churning chaos. The snake wasn't hissing. It was making a low, guttural vibration that she could feel in her teeth. They reached a cluster of rocks, putting solid ground between them and the water. Thorne shoved Liam behind a boulder and kept his aim trained on the swamp. The surface of the water churned, then went disturbingly still. "Did I kill it?" Thorne panted, reloading. You annoyed it, Elena said, shaking her head. That was a Titanoboa saragonensis. It lived 60 million years ago. It grows up to 42 feet long and weighs over a ton. It doesn't hunt with venom, Marcus. It crushes. It exerts pressure of 400 pounds per square inch. If it grabs you, you're toothpaste. Liam was hyperventilating. You said lived. Past tense. Why is it air? A pocket ecosystem. Elena theorized rapidly, her mind racing to rationalize the nightmare. The seismic activity must have opened a rift to a geothermal layer that preserved the conditions of the Paleocene era. We are invaders in a tank, and we just woke up the owner. We need to keep moving, Thorne said grimly. That thing knows we're here. Snakes are ambush predators, right? It won't chase us on land. Elena looked at the dense, wet jungle of ferns ahead. It's amphibious. It can move on land, just slower. But look around us, Marcus. This whole place is a swamp. There is no dry land. This is its domain. They pushed deeper into the fungal forest, the humidity sapping their strength. Every shadow looked like a coil. Every vine looked like a serpent. As they navigated a narrow path between two black pools, they stumbled upon a carcass. It was a turtula cabuna mista, size of a small car. Its shell, thick as concrete, had been shattered, not bitten, but crushed inward, imploded by immense force. Look at the shell, Elena pointed out, her voice trembling. It takes thousands of pounds of pressure to do that. This turtle was just a snack. Great. Fantastic, Liam muttered. What's the plan? Dr. Ask it nicely to let us leave. We need to find the seismic vent we fell through, Elena said. It's our only way out, but we have to cross the central marsh to get back to the coordinates. Thorne looked at the expanse of dark, still water ahead of them. We're bait. Exactly, Elena said. We need a distraction. Before she could finish, the ground beneath them shifted. It wasn't an earthquake. The mound of rotting leaves Liam was standing on wasn't a mound. It inhaled,